Greetings, shalom from home of Jesus the King Church in Nazareth. Today I would like to share with you a very special devotional. We are celebrating Palm Sunday. And many of Christians, they go around and they take the branch of the palm tree and they use it to welcome the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. But my question, do we know why we use the palm branches, as a symbolizing a victorian and overcome? So we need to understand the main story that had happened on the period of the second Maccabean, when the king Antiochus uncleaned the temple by slaughtering pigs inside the temple on the altar. And that made big noise with the Maccabeans, and there was a big demonstration, revolt against what happened. And they overcome the king and they clean the temple. Understand the story? Very interesting. And after that, they start to celebrate by, waving with the palm branches. And that, if we want to compare it with, Jesus, when he get into Jerusalem, remember that they used the palm branches as showing the victorian king coming to Jerusalem. They were thinking about political situation, political concept, that Jesus coming to release and to set them free from the Romans Empire. But Jesus' thought was totally different. And if you read the story in the book of John, you will find that Jesus talking about the seeds that died on the earth and then grow with the big tree. So what's the connection? Why the palm branches? I'd say that, when the Maccabean cleansed, the altar, remember the story when Jesus get into Jerusalem. It's not a coincidence. That's what I say always about the Old Testament and the New Testament. When Jesus get into Jerusalem, remember what the first thing he did? He get into the temple and kick out all the sellers. And remember, when Jesus get into Jerusalem, what he did, the first thing, he kicked out all the sellers from the temple and clean the temple. It's not a coincidence. That's the reason that we carry the branches. This kind of tree, if we want to talk about this kind, especially this kind of tree, is very special. It's green all the year, and that's symbolized the believer. And it's very high. Believer is always high with the Lord, this relation. This kind of tree give, the wonderful taste of date that we use it in our, Easter cookies that we do. And the cookies is symbolize, the crown of throne that Jesus put in his head. And then we put inside it a date, sweet. And what is sweet with all the story of the passion of Jesus is the redemption. So why we carry the palm branches? That remind us with the victory. That's Maccabean, overcome the king and clean the temple. And Jesus is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He is coming to clean the temple and to build the real temple inside our hearts as believers. So don't hesitate to carry the palm branch and to wave for the King of Kings and say, Hosanna, Hosanna. Hosanna means in Hebrew, Hoshana. Hoshana means save us or redeem us. Hoshia otanu. Ki hu Yeshua. He's the Savior. Yeshua is Moshiach, the Savior. And he's coming to Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is our hearts. Are you welcoming him in your heart? Remember, we are coming to the week of, Easter. And this week, we are, as a church, trying to show the love of Yeshua to Christians, to Jewish, and to Muslims. And we're trying on Passover to see the real sacrifice, Jesus. I will give another devotional next week, why Jesus was crucified. Why crucifixion? Until then, keep us in your prayer. Please pray for the church here in Nazareth and pray for our projects. Thank you for your donation. That's make difference in the life of people. Every donation we are using for the glory of God. You can get us in our website. Subscribe for our weekly newsletter on homejtk.org. May God bless you. See you soon in Nazareth.